Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Musical People Journeys new rock album review show. It's Nigel, it's Trish, it's Lauren, and it's Andy. Welcome, gang. How are you today?
Good morning.
Morning. We're
wonderful as always.
Missing Chris and Paul, who've pulled out the last minute. They don't know the phrase the show goes on, do they? But it does go on. It does go on, but they have voted. So if you're tuning in for the first time, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be most grateful. We reviewed the latest rock albums, rate them out of 5. Will it get into our Hall of Fame? 562 albums reviewed of all time, and 100 albums for this month. So today's offering is Mother and their album Nostalgia. So right, just give context for Mother's always been on my radar, you know. Just like they've just always been this really kind of quirky kind of band, really, haven't they? But how quirky were they? Will it be other people's cup of tea? Won't they be other people's cup of tea? Lauren, let's start with you then.
Yeah, so I'm very much the same. Mother has always been sort of floating around in the background for me. And one of our friends, I know that Trish will probably mention it, but has managed to see them. One of our friends, Molly, shout out to Molly, is a Mother fan, and because of that, I eventually ended up listening to them here and there through mixing playlists and things like that. For this album, it then meant I went into this album going, oh, okay, it's a bit weird in places, but I like the vibe. I can appreciate it. Having listened to this, it just sort of left me a bit. A lot of it starts off very strong, and I'm like, oh, okay, right, we're getting going, and then it just sort of dwindles and goes off and does its own thing, and then passes me by, which was really sad because I found myself not really engaging with it very much, and then after the first listen, sort of going, oh, okay, I can listen to the first 30-45 seconds of the song, and then it's just like, okay, next thing. Which genuinely made me sad, because after tunes being released like Nobody Escapes on their last album and stuff, that really engaged me and really sort of like had me going and really enjoyed it. And whereas some of this, it just felt a little bit lackluster in places. Not to say that I don't see its place within the market. There are people who will really adore this. It's just, for me, I prefer mine a bit grittier, a bit more heavy. Yeah, my main highlight from the album was Little Mistake. I quite like that. It's sort of a bit more of a chilled track for me. But aside from that, there were just moments where I was like, oh, okay, that if it had a gut punch of a bit more guitar or a bit more drums, then it could be something really special. And then with the song Finger, I was just like, what? It baffled me. I felt like when I was listening to the album at work, I was like, I feel like I'm going to get pulled into HR for listening to this. It's on my headphones and no one else can listen to it. But I still feel like I need to be spoken to by HR.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, they've put out some stuff in the past that is fantastic, and I commend them for that, truly. This for me was just an iota a little too odd. But yeah, Mother, we love you, we appreciate you. It's just not my flavour.
I think that's probably the nicest I hated it that I think I might have ever heard on this podcast, really. Trish.
Hello. Okay, so yeah, as Lauren pointed out, Molly at work, I did take her to see Mother because we had tickets and were going, and I said to her, I knew that she liked them, so took her out on a school night. Shock horror. But for me personally, Mother can be very hit and miss. Yes, they have songs, Hayloft and Burning Pile, that catapulted them and got them noticed. The music would not be one out of choice I would pick to listen to. This album delivers everything that the fans love about the band. Very retro, quirky sound, but also showing a mature side to them, apart from the obvious, fun, tongue-in-cheek track Finger, which you can't help smiling while listening to it. This album is a nod to their original sound with some freshness. It was an easy listen, but not enough for me to go back to their music out of choice to listen to personally for me. But still solid.
Andy?
Yeah, I thought this might, when I sort of started it, might be sort of a bit more in my wheelhouse, or be a bit more sort of indie rock area and everything like that. I am going to put it into the liked it but didn't love it kind of sort of zone for me. It's obviously designed to be a bit more retro sounding. I mean, the name of the album is called Nostalgia Through for it. But I like the concept of having their three singers, and that was quite an interesting dynamic, and it made like lots of different sort of voices throughout the songs and everything like that. But it did get a bit too twee, a bit too singy-songy through some of the songs through for it. I don't really think I ever need to listen to Finger again in my life somehow. As the old other song goes, some things are better behind closed doors, I think, and I think that's going to be into one of those areas. But anyway, I liked it, didn't love it. I thought actually Station Wagon was a really good song. I enjoyed that one. It's sort of designed to evoke, as you said, feelings of nostalgia, and it did that. But yeah, it was okay.
I absolutely love this album. I've had a bit of love-hate relationship with Mother because I've always believed they can promise to deliver much more than they do. And I think when you look back on things like Hayloft and stuff, which was quirky but commercially brilliant. I think to myself, oh God, I almost got to review. I was going to put down their previous album to review, but when I listened to it, I thought it was just, I personally couldn't stomach it. So it was just awful. It was all over the place. Whereas this album, is a lot more pop sense to it. There's a lot more commerciality to it, and it's a really good, cool, soft indie rock kind of album from that perspective. Absolutely adored. There's a couple of tracks in the Member Cool playlist, which was Love to Death and On, which I thought was absolutely terrific. And whilst Finger, which was tongue-in-cheek and certainly about inserting in between two cheeks, it was certainly fun, but at the same time it was just like, oh really? You've got this kind of cool commercial album, which really has shown you a huge amount of maturity in your songwriting and putting together. I kind of get what Lauren's saying. You either like that sort of sound or you don't, because there was a bit more there's a bit of folky rock into it. There was a bit of retro rock into it. There was a bit of indie rock into it. It was really nice, and it certainly hit my wheelhouse with that sort of style of indie rock, which I absolutely loved. Banging tunes. Great, great interchange of the vocals. It's sort of a really fun album, and then disappointing about Finger, even though part of me really thought it was quite fun and quirky. As an album, it was just felt so out of place in terms of doing that. But so I enjoyed it. I thought it was terrific. I thought it was really, really good album. So will it be enough though to get into our Hall of Fame? Will it get 4 or more then? Lauren, let's start with you then, shall we?
Yeah. I gave it a 1.5.
You don't need to apologise, we do say this is down to our listening taste, and very much. I give an album a 0 yesterday. I hated it. Ooh. So don't ever apologise. It is down to your personal listening pleasure. Trish,
I gave it a 3.
3. Andy.
I gave it a 3.5.
Ooh. Paul equally hated it. Lauren, you'll be glad to know you're not alone. And I can hear him saying, it's not a rock album. Sorry, it's not. I should say, I'll put it in Paul's accent, it's not a rock album, see? So, there we go. He also gave it a 1.5. But Chris gave it a 2.5, so also not a lover. So we're going to drop your 1.5, Lauren. So... because you were so apologetic. I give it a 4.5. I thought it was terrific. I thought it was absolutely terrific. So, unfortunately, though, I only give it a 3 overall rating, which is not terrible, but in a year that has been such a high quality in terms of what we have, 95th out of 100. So that just goes to show what quality of albums we'll be listening to, and 408 out of our 562 albums. So not the most highly rated album, but still solid. We go. So thanks very much to my panel. Just a kind of thing that actually bizarrely we did review their previous album. It was the one before that we didn't, and that was Grief Chapter. So they were a returning band, and Grief Chapter got 3.4. So I think for us as overall as a panel, we prefer the slightly more quirkier Mother to the more commercially sounding Mother, possibly. Who knows? But there we go. Right. Thank you very much to my wonderful panel. Do you agree out there? Do you disagree? Leave your comments below. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And thank you very much to Andy, to Lauren, and to Trish. Goodbye. Keep on rocking.